Last June, I attended a protest outside the children's internment camp at Tornillo, Texas. At the time, there were a couple of hundred refugee children detained there. That number eventually swelled to over 2,800. First came the reports of child abuse, inadequate health care, lack of education services. The kids hated it there. They called it el infierno. Then in November, federal investigators found the contractor running the camp had failed to conduct proper FBI fingerprint background checks on its employees working there. That camp released the last of its children January 11th. Remember the surveillance videos last month of staff members pushing and hitting children? That was Southwest Key, a charter school management company that last year scored over $600 million in federal grants to detain refugee children. It's been cited over 200 times for violations at its 16 facilities and is currently under investigation by the Justice Department for the exorbitant salaries it pays its executives. It last year closed 2 of its facilities and is no longer accepting new children. I guess they figured the charter school industry was less hassle. So yay, the children can finally be reunited with their families, right? Not so fast. Last week, Health and Human Services announced the juvenile internment camp in Homestead, Florida, will be close to doubling its capacity. The news that federal officials plan a significant expansion at the Homestead facility is a clear signal, immigration legal analysts say, that the administration is not changing its policy of holding migrant teenagers in detention, but is merely changing the location. You remember Homestead. That was where also last June, a sitting U.S. Senator and Congresswoman were blocked from touring the facility. DHS Secretary Nielsen has ignored Miami-Dade County Public Schools Superintendent Alberto Carvalho's request for clarification about the lack of certified teachers at the facility. That's the same DHS Secretary who lied to Congress, saying there had never been any plans for family separation a year after recently discovered internal memos prove otherwise. Co-director of the Immigration Law Clinic at UC Davis, Holly Cooper, says Homestead suffers from the same problems as Tornillo. She told the New York Times, quote, "We've received multiple complaints about the facility and will make the investigation of the conditions in Homestead a top priority for the coming month." Let me ask you something, Miami, a city that owes much of its success to the hard work of refugees and their children. How much more of this cruelty based on racism and greed, how much more of this BS are we going to put up with in our own backyard? If you found this information helpful, share it with a friend and don't forget to click on the subscribe button.